2 worst vitamins that weaken senior legs. After 60 you've been told to take your vitamins, but what if 2 of them are slowly stealing your strength? After 60, your legs aren't just muscles, they're your freedom. And right now, something you trust might be weakening them. It's not aging that's the enemy. It's hidden habits, disguised as health, that are quietly draining your mobility. Senior, there are 2 vitamins that seem beneficial, even essential, but in reality, they could be slowly chipping away at your strength, especially in your legs. After the age of 60, your legs stop being just a way to get from one room to another. They become a symbol of your independence. Of your ability to move freely, live fully, and enjoy life without fear of falling or fatigue. But here's the truth no one talks about: some of the very nutrients we think are helping us might actually be making things worse. As the years go by, the body processes vitamins differently. Some that used to support your energy may now build up in ways that damage your muscles, delay your recovery, and leave your legs feeling heavy, tired, and unreliable. In this video, we'll reveal the 2 worst vitamins that might be quietly sabotaging your leg health after 60, and more importantly, what you can do today to reclaim your strength, confidence, and mobility for the years ahead. Because what you discover here could be the turning point between slowing down and standing tall. Let's start where most people never look: the kitchen table. Number 15, sweets and sugary desserts. Who can resist the comfort of a slice of cake, a cookie fresh from the oven, or a warm pastry with your morning coffee? These treats are woven into moments of joy, birthdays, holidays, or just a little indulgence after a long day. But for seniors, these sweets carry more than just calories. They carry consequences. When you eat sugary desserts, your blood sugar spikes fast. It gives you a burst of energy that feels good for a moment. But what comes next is the crash. And that crash leaves you feeling more exhausted, more sluggish, and less motivated to move. That up and down roller coaster of blood sugar doesn't just tire you out, it puts a direct strain on your muscles. Over time, that strain leads to real, noticeable weakness. And your legs, the part of your body most responsible for supporting your weight, suffer the most. As we age, muscle mass naturally declines. It's a fact of biology. But the added stress from fluctuating glucose levels only accelerates the decline. Sugar works against your body's ability to preserve strength. The more frequently you turn to desserts, the harder it becomes to maintain the muscle tone and energy that help you walk confidently and live independently. It's not just about the sugar high. It's about the long-term wear and tear it creates on your muscle tissue. The constant inflammation, the nutrient imbalances, and the energy dips all combine into one thing: weaker, less responsive legs. The solution isn't to deprive yourself of joy, it's to find better alternatives. Natural sweets like fruit, dark chocolate in moderation, or homemade options with reduced sugar can satisfy your cravings without sacrificing your muscle health. Remember, every decision you make about food either builds your body up, or breaks it down. Choose the one that keeps you walking strong. Number 14, fried foods. There's something undeniably comforting about a crispy piece of fried chicken or a handful of golden French fries. These foods trigger nostalgia, warmth, and satisfaction. But for anyone over 60, that golden crunch hides a serious threat to your legs. Fried foods are packed with trans fats and inflammatory oils, the worst enemies of aging muscles and joints. These unhealthy fats don't just sit quietly in your body. They spark inflammation, a silent force that swells your joints, stiffens your movement, and makes every step feel more like a burden than a blessing. As we get older, our body becomes more sensitive to inflammation. What used to be a little joint soreness becomes daily stiffness. What used to be a twinge now feels like a limp. And when fried foods are a regular part of your diet, this inflammation compounds. It targets your knees, your hips, and especially the muscles that keep you standing upright. But it doesn't stop there. Fried foods clog your arteries, reducing circulation to your extremities. That means less oxygen and fewer nutrients are reaching your leg muscles. And when muscles don't get what they need, they weaken. They fatigue. They cramp. Even a simple walk to the mailbox becomes a challenge. You feel the weight in your legs. The slow recovery. The soreness that lingers. And you might think it's just getting older. But in reality, it might be your food. If mobility matters to you, if staying active, independent, and pain-free is part of the life you want, fried foods have to go. Baking, grilling, air frying, these methods offer the same flavor and comfort without the destruction. Trade the crunch for strength. Trade the temporary pleasure for long-term freedom. Your legs are depending on it. When blood doesn't flow freely through your legs, the consequences go far beyond simple discomfort. Poor circulation means your muscles are starving, deprived of oxygen and the nutrients they need to stay energized and repair themselves. You feel it as heaviness, as that constant dragging fatigue in your legs, as if you're walking through water. And it only gets worse. Without good blood flow, cramps become more common. Soreness lingers longer. Your once simple routines, a stroll in the morning, climbing a few steps, now feel like challenges. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many seniors quietly accept this as normal aging, but the truth is, much of this decline is avoidable. The reality is, fried foods are accelerating the breakdown. They're more than just guilty pleasures, they're inflammatory triggers that choke your circulation and rob your muscles of vitality. That's why it's so important, now more than ever, to replace these choices with foods that heal instead of harm. Choose methods like baking or grilling that retain flavor but reduce the toll on your heart, your blood vessels, and your legs. These are small changes that yield powerful results, giving your body a chance to thrive, not just survive. Your legs carry you through life. Feed them with care, and they'll continue to carry you with strength. Number 13, white bread. It seems harmless, a sandwich here, a slice of toast there. But white bread hides a quiet danger, especially for those over 60. At first glance, it's soft, familiar, and comforting. But on the inside, it's loaded with refined carbohydrates that rapidly spike your blood sugar, and then drop it just as fast. And with that drop comes a crash, in energy, in motivation, and most importantly, in muscle performance. Think about it, your muscles, especially your legs, need consistent fuel to function. They rely on stable energy, not sudden surges and crashes. When you eat white bread regularly, you throw off that balance. The muscles in your legs, which already face natural age-related decline, are left depleted. Weakened. Less responsive. You might feel more tired than usual, more prone to soreness, or even start experiencing small losses in mobility. These aren't isolated incidents. They're warnings. And then comes the deeper risk, muscle atrophy. That's when muscle fibers literally begin to waste away due to a lack of proper fuel and use. Your body can't maintain what it can't support. And if you've been feeling like your legs don't quite have the same strength or stamina they used to, your daily slice of white bread may be part of the problem. The fix? It's simple, and powerful. Replace white bread with whole grains. Oats, brown rice, whole wheat bread. These alternatives offer complex carbohydrates that release energy slowly and consistently, giving your muscles what they need to stay strong all day long. You'll notice the difference, not just in your legs, but in your energy, balance, and ability to keep moving forward. Sometimes, changing something as small as your bread choice can be the first step to taking back your strength. Number 12, alcohol. There's nothing wrong with a glass of wine at dinner or a cold beer with friends. It's a way to relax, to socialize, to enjoy the moment. But for those of us past 60, alcohol doesn't process through the body the same way it once did, and the impact on your muscles, especially in your legs, can be more serious than you think. The biggest issue? Dehydration. Alcohol acts as a diuretic, meaning it causes your body to flush out fluids at a faster rate. And with every ounce lost, your muscles lose the very hydration they need to recover and regenerate. Without enough water, muscles can't heal. They can't perform. And you feel that weakness as soon as you try to move, whether it's climbing stairs, taking a walk, or simply standing up after sitting. But it doesn't stop there. Alcohol interferes with your body's ability to absorb the nutrients essential for muscle function. Protein, calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, these are the building blocks your legs rely on. And when alcohol disrupts their absorption, your muscles are essentially being starved of what they need to stay strong. You may not feel it right away, but over time, the effects are cumulative. Slower recovery. Greater soreness. More fatigue after basic tasks. And worst of all, an increased risk of falls, fractures, and injury. The recovery window doesn't just close after the drink is gone. The negative effects of alcohol on your muscles can linger for hours, sometimes days. And as the body ages, it becomes even slower to bounce back. That's why limiting alcohol, not eliminating it completely, but drinking mindfully, can have a profound effect on your leg health and overall mobility. You don't have to give up joy to gain strength. But you do have to ask yourself, is this drink helping or hurting the future I want? If staying mobile, independent, and strong matters to you, then dialing back your alcohol intake might just be the shift your legs have been waiting for. Number 11, processed meats. Convenience is tempting. Especially when you're tired or short on time. Sausages, deli slices, hot dogs, they're easy, fast, and often taste great. But for seniors, processed meats come with a hidden price, one that shows up in your legs long before it shows up in a doctor's report. Let's start with sodium. These meats are loaded with it. And when sodium floods your system, your body responds by retaining water. That's why you sometimes feel puffiness in your feet or heaviness in your legs. It's not just water weight, it's pressure. Pressure on your joints, pressure on your blood vessels, and pressure that makes movement feel sluggish and uncomfortable. Then there's the inflammation. Processed meats often contain chemical preservatives and nitrates, both of which trigger inflammation in the body. And inflammation is the enemy of mobility. It makes your joints stiff. Your muscles ache. Your steps slower and less steady. The legs, which carry the burden of your body all day long, are especially vulnerable. You may notice it as tightness in the knees, or pain when rising from a chair. These are signs your body is fighting what you're feeding it. And over time, that fight wears your muscles down. The inflammation builds. The swelling becomes chronic. And suddenly, movements that were once easy, walking, bending, standing, feel twice as hard. But here's the good news, this decline isn't inevitable. Reducing your intake of processed meats can lead to rapid improvements in how your legs feel and function. Replace them with lean, fresh proteins like grilled chicken, legumes, or fish. These alternatives fuel your body instead of inflaming it. Because the real cost of processed meat isn't at the checkout counter, it's in the slow decline of your strength, your flexibility, and your ability to move with freedom. What makes processed meats so dangerous isn't just the ingredients you see, it's the silent damage happening inside your body over time. While a slice of deli meat or a sausage link might seem like no big deal, the truth is that these foods are fueling a slow-burning fire of inflammation, and it's your legs that pay the price. This isn't the kind of soreness that goes away after a quick rest. No, this is deep, chronic inflammation that tightens your joints, causes persistent pain, and chips away at your flexibility. And where does it strike hardest? Your legs. The very muscles and joints you depend on to stand, walk, climb, and live with independence become stiff, sore, and increasingly unreliable. But inflammation is only half the story. The other culprit? Sodium. Processed meats are notorious for their sky-high salt content. And when your body holds on to excess salt, it retains water. The result? Heaviness in your legs. Swelling in your feet and ankles. That uncomfortable, bloated feeling that makes every step feel like a burden. You may think it's just part of getting older, but in many cases, it's what's on your plate. This fluid retention doesn't just weigh you down physically, it disrupts circulation, reduces your energy, and places unnecessary pressure on your entire lower body. And here's the dangerous part: the more you eat these foods, the more these effects build. You start to slow down. Avoid certain movements. Sit more. And as you move less, your muscles weaken more. It becomes a vicious cycle. Over time, this cycle increases the risk of falls, injuries, and long-term mobility loss, the very things we try so hard to prevent as we age. But here's the good news: you can break the cycle. Cutting back on processed meats, even just reducing how often you eat them, can lead to noticeable improvements in circulation, joint flexibility, and leg strength. And replacing them with lean proteins like fish, grilled chicken, or plant-based alternatives gives your body the fuel it needs to rebuild. You don't have to give up all flavor to regain function. You just have to make choices that honor your body's needs. Your legs support you through every chapter of life. Now it's time to support them back. Number 10, instant noodles. They're quick. They're cheap. And on a cold or tiring day, a warm bowl of instant noodles can feel like a comforting solution. But if you're over 60 and trying to preserve your strength, especially in your legs, these so-called convenient meals might be costing you more than you realize. Instant noodles are a perfect storm of everything your muscles hate: excess sodium, unhealthy fats, and a disturbing lack of real nutrition. One packet often contains more salt than your body needs in an entire day. And when sodium levels spike, your body clings to water, leading to the same familiar swelling and heaviness in your legs. It's not just a little bloating, it's a sign that your circulation is being compromised. Without good blood flow, your legs can't get the oxygen and nutrients they need. The result? They become tired more easily. Recovery slows. Strength declines. Even basic movements like walking around the house can start to feel exhausting. But there's another problem: nutrient deficiency. Instant noodles are low in protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals, all the building blocks your muscles rely on to stay strong. When your body doesn't get what it needs, your muscles start to break down. Fatigue sets in faster. Healing takes longer. And slowly, your legs become weaker, less balanced, and more prone to injury. Let's not forget the fats. Many instant noodles are made with trans fats, known enemies of heart health and muscle function. These fats contribute to chronic inflammation that tightens your joints and reduces your range of motion. For seniors already dealing with arthritis or stiffness, this is a dangerous accelerant. But here's the truth, it's not about never enjoying a comforting meal again. It's about choosing smarter alternatives. A simple bowl of oats, a veggie stir-fry, or brown rice with lean protein can be just as satisfying, and far more nourishing. Every meal is a choice between maintenance and decline. Choose meals that help your legs recover, rebuild, and stay strong for years to come. Number 9. Industrial cakes. They're colorful, convenient, and often marketed as a treat. But behind the pretty packaging of industrial cakes lies a harsh reality. These mass-produced desserts are loaded with trans fats, refined sugars, and sodium, a triple threat to your leg health. Let's start with the trans fats. These artificially created fats are used to extend shelf life, but inside your body, they do the exact opposite. They shorten the lifespan of your muscle performance. They raise bad cholesterol, lower good cholesterol, and increase the risk of heart disease. But even more concerning, they accelerate muscle dysfunction, especially in seniors. These fats actually cause fat to build up inside muscle cells, which limits how well those muscles can contract, move, and support your weight. Then comes the sugar crash. Industrial cakes are high in refined sugars that spike your blood sugar rapidly, giving you a brief burst of energy followed by a hard crash. That crash leaves you feeling sluggish, drained, and less inclined to move. When this cycle repeats often, it drains your muscles of the energy they need to stay responsive. But it doesn't stop there. Many of these cakes contain high levels of sodium, which leads right back to the swelling and fluid retention we've talked about. Your legs feel bloated. Circulation slows. Oxygen and nutrients struggle to reach your muscles. And slowly but surely, your mobility slips away. Over time, these small indulgences add up. One slice here. A snack cake there. Before long, the cumulative effect is muscle weakness, joint stiffness, and a constant struggle to maintain balance and energy. You just have to make choices that honor your body's needs. Your legs support you through every chapter of life. Now it's time to support them back. Number 10. Instant noodles. They're quick. They're cheap. And on a cold or tiring day, a warm bowl of instant noodles can feel like a comforting solution. But if you're over 60 and trying to preserve your strength, especially in your legs, these so-called convenient meals might be costing you more than you realize. Instant noodles are a perfect storm of everything your muscles hate: excess sodium, unhealthy fats, and a disturbing lack of real nutrition. One packet often contains more salt than your body needs in an entire day. And when sodium levels spike, your body clings to water, leading to the same familiar swelling and heaviness in your legs. It's not just a little bloating, it's a sign that your circulation is being compromised. Without good blood flow, your legs can't get the oxygen and nutrients they need. The result? They become tired more easily. Recovery slows. Strength declines. Even basic movements like walking around the house can start to feel exhausting. But there's another problem: nutrient deficiency. Instant noodles are low in protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals, all the building blocks your muscles rely on to stay strong. When your body doesn't get what it needs, your muscles start to break down. Fatigue sets in faster. Healing takes longer. And slowly, your legs become weaker, less balanced, and more prone to injury. Let's not forget the fats. Many instant noodles are made with trans fats, known enemies of heart health and muscle function. These fats contribute to chronic inflammation that tightens your joints and reduces your range of motion. For seniors already dealing with arthritis or stiffness, this is a dangerous accelerant. But here's the truth, it's not about never enjoying a comforting meal again. It's about choosing smarter alternatives. A simple bowl of oats, a veggie stir-fry, or brown rice with lean protein can be just as satisfying, and far more nourishing. Every meal is a choice between maintenance and decline. Choose meals that help your legs recover, rebuild, and stay strong for years to come. Number 9. Industrial cakes. They're colorful, convenient, and often marketed as a treat. But behind the pretty packaging of industrial cakes lies a harsh reality. These mass-produced desserts are loaded with trans fats, refined sugars, and sodium, a triple threat to your leg health. Let's start with the trans fats. These artificially created fats are used to extend shelf life, but inside your body, they do the exact opposite. They shorten the lifespan of your muscle performance. They raise bad cholesterol, lower good cholesterol, and increase the risk of heart disease. But even more concerning, they accelerate muscle dysfunction, especially in seniors. These fats actually cause fat to build up inside muscle cells, which limits how well those muscles can contract, move, and support your weight. Then comes the sugar crash. Industrial cakes are high in refined sugars that spike your blood sugar rapidly, giving you a brief burst of energy followed by a hard crash. That crash leaves you feeling sluggish, drained, and less inclined to move. When this cycle repeats often, it drains your muscles of the energy they need to stay responsive. But it doesn't stop there. Many of these cakes contain high levels of sodium, which leads right back to the swelling and fluid retention we've talked about. Your legs feel bloated. Circulation slows. Oxygen and nutrients struggle to reach your muscles. And slowly but surely, your mobility slips away. Over time, these small indulgences add up. One slice here. A snack cake there. Before long, the cumulative effect is muscle weakness, joint stiffness, and a constant struggle to maintain balance and energy. You don't have to swear off dessert forever. But choosing homemade or lower sugar alternatives gives you the sweetness without the suffering. Your body doesn't need perfection, it needs consistency. Treat yourself in ways that honor your long-term health. Your legs, and your future self, will thank you. Number 8. Ultra-processed cheeses. They're easy. Convenient. Perfect for sandwiches or a quick snack. But those creamy cheese spreads and individually wrapped slices come at a price, one that directly impacts the strength and flexibility of your legs. Ultra-processed cheeses are loaded with sodium, artificial preservatives, and unhealthy fats that disrupt your body's mineral balance. And when that balance is off, your muscles and bones suffer. The high sodium content alone is alarming. Some processed cheeses pack over 1,600 milligrams of salt per 100 grams, enough to cause serious fluid retention. And that extra fluid makes your legs feel heavy, swollen, and stiff. It's more than discomfort, it's a sign your circulatory system is under stress, unable to deliver what your muscles need. But sodium isn't the only problem. These cheeses often interfere with your body's absorption of critical minerals like calcium and magnesium, both essential for muscle contraction, flexibility, and joint comfort. A deficiency in these minerals doesn't just cause cramps, it leads to lasting weakness. And what about all those artificial emulsifiers and additives? Studies show they can disrupt your gut health, increasing systemic inflammation, yet another factor contributing to joint pain and muscle soreness in the legs. You don't have to give up cheese. You just have to choose better options. Natural cheeses like cheddar, feta, or mozzarella in moderation offer real nutritional value without the baggage of synthetic ingredients. Your muscles deserve nourishment, not fillers. And your legs deserve strength, not stiffness. Ultra-processed cheeses may seem like a quick and easy solution, a simple slice for your sandwich or a creamy spread for your crackers. But beneath that convenience lies a serious health concern for anyone over 60, especially when it comes to your legs and long-term mobility. These cheeses are often loaded with sodium, harmful fats, and artificial additives, a combination that creates chaos in your body's internal balance. Let's begin with the sodium. Some varieties pack over 1,600 milligrams of salt per 100 grams, more than half of your entire daily recommendation in just a small serving. That salt forces your body to retain fluid, causing swelling in the legs, bloating in the feet, and a persistent heaviness that makes even simple movements feel harder. And it's not just uncomfortable, this water retention taxes your circulatory system, making it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach your muscles. Without proper circulation, muscles become fatigued more quickly, and recovery slows. Suddenly, stairs feel steeper. Walks become shorter. And the resilience you once had begins to fade. Then come the unhealthy fats and preservatives, which interfere with your body's absorption of calcium and magnesium, two of the most critical minerals for muscle and bone health. Without enough calcium, cramps and spasms become more frequent. Without sufficient magnesium, fatigue sets in faster, and your muscles lose the power they once had. You may find yourself sitting more often, moving less, and gradually losing the strength you worked so hard to maintain. But it doesn't stop there. Studies show that certain emulsifiers and preservatives found in ultra-processed cheeses can disrupt gut health, causing inflammation that affects your entire body, especially your muscles and joints. Even if you're eating well in other areas, these hidden ingredients can cancel out the benefits, leaving you wondering why you still feel weak or sore. Now, here's the truth: you don't have to give up cheese. Cheese, when chosen wisely, can still be a great source of protein and calcium. Just choose natural varieties like cheddar, mozzarella, or Swiss, ones without added chemicals or sky-high sodium levels. These can nourish your muscles, not sabotage them. Because your legs? They're not just limbs. They're your freedom. They are your foundation for independence. Every step, every movement, every experience, it all starts from your legs. So choose foods that build them up. Choose nourishment over convenience. Choose longevity over shortcuts. Your legs deserve nothing less. Number 7, Industrial Ice Creams. Ice cream. Just hearing the word brings memories of warm afternoons, childhood treats, or moments of comfort. And let's be honest, we all enjoy a cold, creamy scoop now and then. But if you're over 60, you need to know that not all ice creams are created equal, and those store-bought industrial brands may be quietly sabotaging your strength. These products are often packed with added sugars, saturated fats, and artificial chemicals, and they offer almost no real nutritional benefit. The sugar gives you a quick surge of energy, but it's fleeting. What comes after is the crash, a dramatic drop in blood sugar that leaves you feeling sluggish, mentally foggy, and physically drained. And for seniors, this drop hits the legs hardest. You may find it harder to get up. Your muscles may feel heavier. You might notice soreness even without exertion. That's because your muscles are left underfueled and under-recovered. And this cycle, repeated often enough, leads to cumulative damage, loss of endurance, muscle exhaustion, and eventual atrophy. What's worse is the empty-calorie nature of these desserts. They lack the protein, minerals, and healthy fats that your body needs to maintain and repair muscle tissue. Instead, they fill you up with substances that slow you down, weaken your legs, and push your body further from the strength you want to preserve. And the additives? Artificial colors, flavors, stabilizers, and preservatives, all of them can trigger chronic inflammation, especially in joints and muscles. If your legs feel stiff, swollen, or constantly sore, this could be a major reason. These chemicals might be invisible to the eye, but their effects are deeply felt in the way you move, walk, and live. But don't worry, you don't have to cut out all sweetness. Moderation is key. Look for natural ice creams made with real ingredients, less sugar, and no synthetic chemicals. Or go one step further, make your own. Frozen banana slices, Greek yogurt, fresh berries, these can be turned into delicious, muscle-friendly treats. With just a little effort, you can enjoy the joy of dessert without sacrificing your mobility. Because food isn't just pleasure, it's power. And every spoonful should bring you closer to a body that supports the life you want to live. Number 6. Milk chocolate. There's something irresistibly comforting about milk chocolate, smooth, sweet, nostalgic. It's that little bite of happiness in the middle of a busy day or a reward for making it through the week. But if you're past 60 and focused on maintaining strength and independence, this innocent indulgence may be working against you more than you think. Milk chocolate is often packed with refined sugar and saturated fat, the very ingredients that disrupt your energy balance and drain your muscle function. The sugar gives you a short-lived rush, then vanishes, leaving you sluggish, tired, and heavy-legged. And these swings in blood sugar, repeated daily, add up. They throw off your body's ability to supply steady energy to your muscles, leaving them underpowered and underperforming. But let's go deeper. Most commercial milk chocolate contains very little actual cocoa, which means it lacks the beneficial antioxidants that dark chocolate provides. These antioxidants are what support circulation, reduce inflammation, and protect muscle cells from damage. Without them, you're just consuming calories with no benefit, fuel that doesn't feed your strength. And what about the fats? Most milk chocolates include cheap saturated fats that promote inflammation, especially in joints and soft tissues. That stiffness in your knees? That tightness in your thighs? Those aching calves after a simple walk? Inflammation is likely the root, and sugar and saturated fat are major contributors. Does this mean you must give up chocolate forever? Absolutely not. Life needs its sweet moments. But switching to dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or higher, offers a smarter, stronger choice. You still enjoy the taste, but you also get the antioxidants, fiber, and lower sugar content that support muscle and heart health. Every treat can be a tool, to either build you up or break you down. Make the swap. Empower your body. Because chocolate should lift your spirit, not drag down your steps. Number 5. Canned foods. Canned foods are everywhere, a pantry staple for quick meals, emergency prep, or saving money. But if you're over 60 and trying to protect your legs from weakness and decline, you need to look deeper into what's really inside that can. Soups, beans, meats, even vegetables, they're often packed with preservatives and sodium that quietly erode your muscle health. Ingredients like sodium benzoate, nitrates, and BPA-lined packaging don't just extend shelf life, they extend your inflammation, stiffness, and soreness. Inflammation is a silent saboteur. It may begin as mild discomfort, but over time it leads to joint stiffness, muscle pain, and reduced range of motion. And because your legs carry the most weight, they suffer the most. That creeping fatigue when walking? That burning sensation in your knees? That's inflammation speaking loud and clear. Excess sodium makes things worse. It causes your body to retain fluid, leading to swelling in the feet and ankles. It also restricts proper circulation, meaning less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your legs. And when muscles are undernourished, they weaken. They cramp. They give out when you need them most. But that's not all. The high heat canning process destroys many of the vitamins your muscles need, like magnesium, vitamin C, and potassium. Even if you think you're eating vegetables, your body isn't getting the benefit it expects. The food looks healthy, but inside, it's hollow. And in many cans, BPA, a chemical in the lining, may disrupt hormone balance, further damaging bone and muscle integrity over time. For seniors, this is especially concerning as falls and fractures become more dangerous with age. Still, you don't have to abandon convenience. There are better options. Look for low-sodium, BPA-free cans, or go for frozen or fresh alternatives whenever possible. These retain more of their original nutrients and protect your body from hidden harm. Because what's in your pantry shouldn't weaken your legs. It should fuel them. Strength begins at the source, and the source is your plate. Inflammation might sound like a mild nuisance, a little stiffness, some occasional soreness. But over time, it becomes something much more serious. It becomes a silent enemy, one that slowly stiffens your joints, weakens your muscles, and chips away at your mobility. And for seniors, the legs, your foundation, are often the first to suffer. At first, it might just feel like heaviness or minor swelling in your calves and feet. But that discomfort is your body signaling that something isn't right. The excess sodium from canned foods and processed snacks causes your body to retain fluid, creating that puffy, bloated feeling in your legs. It's not just unpleasant, it's also a physical burden. The extra fluid puts pressure on your joints and restricts how your muscles move, shortening your stride and limiting your endurance. What's worse is the cycle it creates. The discomfort makes you move less. Less movement causes muscle atrophy. And weaker muscles make movement even harder. Before long, what used to be a brisk walk feels like a major task. And the independence you once took for granted begins to slip away. On top of that, many canned foods are nutritionally empty. The high heat used during processing destroys critical nutrients like vitamin C, potassium, and magnesium, all of which are essential for muscle function, contraction, and recovery. Without them, your legs feel heavier, tire faster, and don't bounce back after activity like they used to. And then there's BPA, a chemical often used in the lining of canned foods. BPA has been shown to interfere with hormone function, which can lead to long-term damage to both bones and muscles. For seniors, whose bodies are already more vulnerable to loss of bone density and muscle mass, this adds another invisible layer of risk. So while canned foods might seem like a budget-friendly or time-saving option, the true cost might be your strength, mobility, and comfort. But it doesn't have to be that way. Choose low-sodium alternatives, look for BPA-free packaging, or even better, opt for frozen or fresh options that retain more of their original nutrients without the harmful preservatives. These are the choices that preserve your health, not compromise it. Number 4, filled cookies and processed snacks. They're the things we reach for without thinking, a soft cookie after lunch, a salty cracker before dinner. But behind the shiny packaging and feel-good taste, many processed snacks are quietly draining your strength, especially in your legs. These foods are loaded with trans fats, refined sugars, and sodium, a triple threat to your muscle health. On the label, they might sound innocent or even unfamiliar: hydrogenated oils, maltodextrin, monosodium glutamate. But in your body, they wreak havoc. Trans fats, in particular, are some of the most dangerous ingredients in the modern diet. Used to extend shelf life, they harden arteries, slow circulation, and rob your muscles of oxygen and nutrients. That means your legs don't get what they need to move, recover, or grow stronger. Over time, you begin to feel that as stiffness, fatigue, and cramping, even after doing something as simple as walking through your house. Sodium adds another burden. It causes your body to retain fluid, leading to swelling, heaviness, and reduced range of motion. You might not connect your discomfort to that snack you had earlier, but your body does. That extra water retention and inflammation adds pressure to every joint and limits your ability to stretch, bend, and move freely. Worse still, too much sodium depletes potassium, which is critical for nerve function, hydration, and muscle recovery. Without enough potassium, you're more likely to cramp, more likely to stumble, more likely to feel that your legs just don't work like they used to. And then there's refined sugar, the quiet energy thief. It spikes your blood sugar quickly, then crashes it just as fast. Your muscles are left underfueled and exhausted. And when this happens often, it becomes harder for your body to maintain any meaningful muscle mass. For seniors, whose muscle loss is already a concern, this compounds the risk. But there's good news. You don't have to give up snacks, just upgrade them. Swap processed cookies for a few slices of apple with nut butter. Replace salty crackers with a handful of almonds or roasted chickpeas. Choose snacks that fuel your muscles, not ones that slowly tear them down. Your legs carry your life, and they deserve more than what's hiding in that shiny wrapper. Number 3, industrialized foods with MSG. MSG, monosodium glutamate, is everywhere. Chips, instant noodles, frozen meals, canned soups, spice mixes, all rely on this flavor enhancer to make bland food taste irresistible. But what they don't tell you is what MSG may be doing to your nervous system, muscle control, and mobility, especially if you're over 60. MSG interferes with how your brain communicates with your muscles. Your brain is constantly sending signals, to lift your foot, to shift your weight, to catch your balance. But when MSG disrupts these signals, the messages become delayed, unclear, or even misfired. That tiny lag in muscle response? That subtle delay in coordination? That's not just aging, that's interference. When your legs don't get clear instructions from your brain, every movement becomes riskier. You may find yourself stumbling more often, feeling off balance, struggling to keep steady on uneven surfaces. And for seniors, that's more than just inconvenient, it's dangerous. But that's only part of the problem. MSG has also been linked to inflammation, especially in those who are sensitive to additives. This inflammation shows up in your joints and muscles, tightness in the knees, soreness in the calves, stiffness in your hips. And when inflammation takes hold, it not only limits movement, it drains strength. Many MSG-laden foods also contain high sodium and very little nutritional value, meaning they're not just interfering with your nervous system, they're also starving your muscles of what they need to stay strong. Less oxygen. Fewer minerals. Poor recovery. Over time, the result is weakness, cramping, and chronic discomfort, especially in your lower body. So what can you do? Start by reading labels. Avoid foods that list MSG, hydrolyzed protein, or artificial flavoring. Instead, choose whole, real ingredients. Use herbs and spices to add flavor. Cook from scratch when you can, and when you can't, reach for brands that are transparent and clean. Because the choices you make today about your food, especially what you allow into your nervous system, shape how your legs will serve you tomorrow. Inflammation isn't just about pain. It's about performance, and when your body is inflamed, its ability to recover, regenerate, and retain muscle tone begins to break down. You may notice it first in your legs, aching joints, swollen ankles, and a constant sense of fatigue even from light walking or climbing a short set of stairs. And it's not just the MSG. Many of the foods that contain it, chips, frozen meals, canned soups, are also overloaded with sodium and deficient in nutrients, placing even more stress on your circulatory system. That makes it harder for oxygen and muscle-repairing nutrients to reach the very areas you need to keep strong, your legs. As we age, losing a bit of muscle strength is expected. But when your diet continuously interferes with your body's ability to recover and function properly, that decline happens much faster, and it shows. What could have been a gradual process turns into a steep drop in endurance, balance, and independence. The good news? You can change this. You don't need a radical transformation, just a return to nature. Cutting out MSG-rich foods and replacing them with fresh, whole ingredients like herbs, spices, and homemade meals can dramatically reduce inflammation, improve nerve signaling, and strengthen your muscles. Your meals don't just become more flavorful, they become more functional, supporting not just your brain and heart, but your legs, your literal foundation of movement. Make food your ally. Because what's on your plate today becomes the strength in your stride tomorrow. Number 2, Vitamin A. Vitamin A often gets praised for all the right reasons: better vision, stronger immunity, glowing skin. And all of that is true, when taken in the right amount. But here's the catch: for seniors especially, too much vitamin A can become toxic, and most don't even realize they're getting too much. Because vitamin A is fat-soluble, it builds up in your body over time. Unlike vitamin C, which gets flushed out through urine, excess vitamin A accumulates, and once levels get too high, the effects become physical and painful. Seniors often notice it first in the legs: stiffness, cramps, or unexplained muscle aches, even when you haven't exerted yourself. This isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. When your legs start to fail you, when simply rising from a chair becomes a struggle, the risk of falls and injury increases significantly. But there's more. High levels of vitamin A interfere with your body's ability to absorb calcium and magnesium, two minerals that are absolutely essential for muscle contraction, bone density, and flexibility. Without enough calcium, bones weaken and become fragile. Without enough magnesium, cramps become more frequent, muscles tire faster, and your legs feel like they're working against you, not with you. Here's the twist: you might not even know you're overdoing it. Multivitamins, fortified cereals, high-dose supplements, all of these can push your vitamin A intake beyond safe levels, even if you're eating a relatively balanced diet. So if you've been dealing with leg fatigue, recurring cramps, or stiffness, it may be time to look at your supplement labels, and talk to your healthcare provider about checking your levels. A small adjustment, switching to a lower dose or skipping a fortified product, might make a big difference in how you feel. Remember, more isn't always better. With vitamin A, balance is power. Number 1, Vitamin D. Yes, vitamin D is essential. It's critical for bone strength, calcium absorption, and muscle health. And for seniors, it's often recommended to maintain strong, resilient bones. But there's a less talked about side to this story: too much vitamin D can hurt you, especially your legs. When you take in excess vitamin D, it can lead to a condition called hypercalcemia, meaning too much calcium ends up floating around in your bloodstream. This calcium doesn't stay where it belongs. in your bones. Instead, it starts building up in soft tissues, including your muscles and tendons, leading to stiffness, joint discomfort, and severe cramps. Imagine trying to bend your knees, stand up, or walk without your muscles cooperating. That tight, rigid feeling isn't just annoying, it reduces flexibility, limits motion, and makes even daily activities painful and exhausting. Over time, this rigidity robs you of your confidence. You stop moving as much. You avoid stairs. You say no to that walk around the block. And it doesn't stop there. Too much vitamin D puts additional strain on your kidneys, which play a key role in managing fluid and mineral balance. When they're overworked, circulation suffers. That means less blood, less oxygen, and fewer nutrients reach your muscles. The result? Your legs feel heavier, your steps slower, your energy lower. This is why monitoring your vitamin D intake is so critical. While deficiency is a problem, excess is equally dangerous, and unfortunately, much more common than people think. Seniors often take high-dose supplements alongside fortified foods, unknowingly stacking their intake beyond healthy levels. The fix is simple: talk to your doctor. Get your vitamin D levels checked. Adjust your supplements. Find that sweet spot, where your bones stay strong, but your muscles stay supple. Because your goal isn't just to avoid pain. It's to move freely, live fully, and stay independent for years to come. Final message. As we bring this journey to a close, let this be your reminder: not all vitamins are harmless, and not all healthy choices are created equal. Both vitamin A and vitamin D, though vital in the right amounts, can quietly erode your strength and mobility if overused, especially after 60, when your body's needs become more specific, more sensitive. But this isn't just about avoiding what's harmful. It's about embracing what's helpful. Staying active. Eating with awareness. Choosing nourishment over noise. And most of all, listening to your body. Because every twinge, cramp, or ache is communication. And when you respond with care, your body responds with strength. So check your labels. Rethink your supplements. Choose real food. Talk to your healthcare provider. Take the small steps today that build a stronger tomorrow. And if this message helped you, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because your health journey is just getting started. We've got more insights, more tools, and more support to help you stay strong, vibrant, and free. And remember, your legs carry your life. Take care of them, and they'll take care of you.